I planned a scavenger hunt. It was cool. She really enjoyed it, and I'd written, I guess, a poem or a letter or something.
It was a letter.
I wrote a letter, you know, just a lot about how I could see that God had really orchestrated our paths. We went and had dinner, and I had the waiter bring the ring and, you know, proposed there.
It was a fun day because it took the whole day.
It did.
That's neat. We had been married about 7 months. We found out that we were expecting a baby. We found out when he was 3 months old that we were expecting again.
You go from thinking everything's headed one direction, but then you start watching life take a totally different turn.
I started having contractions, and then by the time we got to the doctor's office, you know, they were really severe, and ended up, you know, later that day I miscarried. And you know, I think that while God gave us a peace about that, it was still really, you know, it was hard.
We did end up having a second baby.
We lost the money that we had in the stock market, and
through the miscarriage and through the second pregnancy and some of those things, I mean, I was becoming very distant. I'd been hiding a lot of secrets about things. There was a lot of stress in our marriage, and you know, I wasn't making the best media choices, and I would even justify it that, well, all guys kind of deal with this, right? And it's, you know, when we had to hit that head on, and a lot of issues came to light.
To me, it felt like, I mean, it was the same as having an affair, you know? I mean, it broke my heart.
What I'm thankful for is that she was strong enough in her faith and loved me enough, in spite of the hurt, to pray for me and to pray for our marriage and to fight for it.
We started coming to fellowship in 2003.
I remember sitting in the balcony, and then Pastor Ed comes on and he starts a message series called Just Lust. And I remember looking at her and saying, I can't help but feel like we're supposed to be right here, right now. And it changed everything.
There was so much healing that took place. And then when we did this experiment for the first time and we committed to 7 days of sex, it was so cool to see how a little bit of creativity, some work, some effort, what a difference it made for us, and it was fun.
And it's still going to take work. It's still worth fighting for. There's nothing that I would trade for what we have, nothing.